The following is a special live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good evening and welcome to night one of the 2001 playoffs here on Retro Sports Network. I'm Ron Juckett. And if you were with us today earlier at lunchtime, the Yankees and Mariners, we did game one of that series live from Seattle. Quick simmed the other two. Plug your ears if you don't want to know what happened. The Mariners have two chances to clinch that series starting Friday. Time to be determined. They will play game four in New York with the Mariners leading 2-1. That series has been a tremendous amount of offense so far. Both teams do have wins on the road. So this is the game one of the other American League Divisional Series. The Chicago White Sox are the biggest surprise, I think, in this postseason field of 8. They are legitimately 100-game winners and in the end easily won the American League Central. They will go with Mark Burley, a 16-game winner in real life. We'll get to their other stats as we go along. And so they're pretty much playing with house money in this. They have home field for this. We will quick sim game 2 and game 3 after and let you know how this series will go. The Oakland Athletics were the real-life wild card winners in 2001. Remember, they played the Yankees and had the big 2-0 lead against New York before Derek Jeter broke everyone's hearts in Oakland and blah, 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 blah. But the A's are a good hitting team. They didn't win 100. They did win 98. So between these two teams and what we consider to be the B series here for the American League, they combined for 198 wins. That's pretty gosh darn good, isn't it? The one problem the A's have tonight is that left-handed Mark Burley, and the A's are heavily a left-handed lineup. In fact, as I look up and down the lineup, 1, 2, 3, 4 left-handed hitters to go against Mark Burley. That's the setup for you. Game one, a beautiful night here in Comiskey Park in Chicago. And so if you're a White Sox fan, forget about the troubles from this year or moving to Soldier Field, really. So that's what we got for you. It's the A's and the White Sox in next game one from Comiskey Park. As Retro Sports Network presents the 2001 American League Divisional Series between the Oakland Athletics and the Chicago White Sox live from Chicago, Illinois. Comiskey Park, brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So we'll say hello, Rangers baseball fan and Big Dave, who listened to the Digital Dice earlier today. Yeah, that was a very good discussion, wasn't it? You're supposed to be on the baseball page. Oh, hold on. Hold on. You're supposed to be seeing a ballpark, not standings. So thank you very much for that. We had talked about doing that one for a while, and, well, you can probably guess why we did it. So, already listened to Seattle and New York and the results through Game 3. That was a pretty offensive affair. Seattle in pretty good shape, although no one outside of Freddie Garcia has pitched well in that series. I got stats up, so it'll be I won't be able to see really for a bit what you guys are saying, but keep talking in the chat. Mark Burley on the replay had 6 complete games, believe it or not. He went 17-9 with an earned run average of 370, 226 innings, 198 hits, 102 runs, 93 earned, 24 homers. He walked 49 and struck out 134. Johnny Damon leading off for Oakland. He hit .265, 11 homers, 51 RBI, and stole 33 bases. And so let's get to it. Game 1 of this American League Divisional Series, as Uncle Ron forgot to set I'm playing Chicago. So Burley and Damon dig in. 59 degrees, winds blowing in from left center. That's from the suburbs. Burley's pitch popped up left side. Clayton, that's a rainmaker out there on the grass. One out for Jermaine Dye. If I can find Jermaine's stats here, he only had 62 games. He hit .273, 12 homers, and 42 RBI. Burley deals. Struck him out. Got him to change up too early, and that'll bring up Jason Giambi. Jason flirted with a Triple Crown for most of the year. Hit .341, 46 homers, and drove in 145. Those are indeed MVP numbers. His OPS 1170. Pitch to Jason. Fly ball, right center field. Back goes Ordonez, and that ball is gone. And I forgot to give you lineups and everything. So Jason Giambi starts his postseason with a home run. And if the A's are going to be successful, it needs to be him. So those are the first three batters. Johnny Damon, Jermaine Dye, and Jason Giambi. Eric Chavez will hit fourth at third base. Miguel Tejada at short will bat fifth. Terrence Long in left will go sixth. Frank Menachino at second will bat seventh. Olmedo Signs, the DH, will go eighth. It'll be Jeremy Giambi against right-handers, and Ramon Hernandez, the catcher. Defensively for the White Sox, Carlos Lee is 6 and a 6 in left. Chris Singleton a 7 and a 6 in center. Maglio Ordonez a 4 and a 9 in right. Jose Valentin is a 7 at third. Royce Clayton an 8 at short. Ray Durham a 7 at second. Paul Konerko an 8 at first. Don Paul, or Mr. Paul, is a 2 and a 1 behind the plate, and Burley an 8 on the mound with a .952 fielding percentage. And here's the home run again. Just an absolute bomb in the right center field. So 1-0 Oakland. Should note that the computers have chosen the rosters, and Jose Canseco, who was the DH for Chicago most of the second half of the year, is not on the playoff roster, which I found very interesting, but the computer did all that. I didn't choose anybody. Eric Chavez at the plate. Eric at .291, 35 homers, and 122 RBI. The A's have three hitters in this lineup with over 100 RBI. Burley deals. Chavez strikes out. How about that? So he got him swinging. However, the big run by Jason Giambi is on the solo homer in the top of the first, as the A's up 1-0. So here is Mark Mulder. Mulder gets the call in game one. Again, another lefty. He made 34 starts in the replay. Went 14 and 10. Now, Tim Hudson won 19. He'll pitch in game two. But Mulder's ERA is 3.49 and his whip is 12.05. So that's pretty much why he got the call. 237 in the third innings, 235 hits. He allowed 109 runs, 92 earned, 24 homers. He walked 51 and struck out 172. Well, I got to get the White Sox numbers up. The lineup that Chicago will put up: Ray Durham will lead off at second base. Carlos Lee in left will bat second. Paul Konerko is at first. He'll bat third. Maggie Ordonez cleans up at right. Jose Valentin at third will bat fifth. Herbert Perry will be the DH. He'll bat sixth. Chris Singleton in center will bat seventh. Paul behind the plate 8th, and Royce Clayton is going to act as the second leadoff hitter at 9 at short. Burley threw 22 pitches in his half of the first. The White Sox finished 101-61, and as a team hit 280. I mean, it's a pretty powerful team. Terrence Long is a 3-3 in left for Oakland. Johnny Damon a 5-3 in center. Jermaine Dye an 8-9 in right. Eric Chavez is a 10 at third. Tejada a 6 at short. Mendocino a 7 at second. Jason Giambi a 5 at first. Ramon Hernandez a 6-3 behind the plate. And Mulder is an 8 with a .963 fielding percentage. Ray Durham leads off at 280, 22 homers, and 88 RBI. So Mulder's ready. Chicago already trailing 1-0. Durham swings, and that's into right center field. Damon will pick it up, but Durham is into second standing. So Durham just kind of outweighted Mulder and punched that one into the gap in right center for a double. Brings up Carlos Lee, hitting .268, 29 homers, and 101 RBI. There are 3 members of this White Sox lineup who drove in 100 runs, but not as much as the A's. These teams are loaded for bear. There should be some runs scored. Pitch to Lee. Struck him out. Mulder got him on an 0-2 fastball looking. So 1 out for Konerko. Paul at .279, 35 homers, and 122 RBI. Gaudy numbers for both teams. The throw to second, and Durham is back. I've not seen a computer do that. Now Mulder will concentrate on Konerko. Pitch to Paul. There's a liner in the center that's going to drop in front of Johnny Damon. Durham will round third and hold right there. So runners on the corners, 1 out for Ordonez. Maglio at .325, 30 homers, and 126 RBI. He has Durham on third, Konerko on first. 1-0 Oakland, 1 out, bottom of the first of game 1. Mulder deals. Ordonez down the line and right. That's going to get past Dye. Durham is going to score. Konerko is going to step on third and hold. So this game is already tied at 1 on the double by Ordonez. Pitching may not matter a lot in this series. Here's Jose Valentin. Jose at .291. 27 homers and 79 RBI. So second and third, 1 out in a 1-1 ball game. Mulder deals. Valentin, that's going to score 2. It drops in front of Damon. Konerko will score. Nope, they're going to hold Ordonez. But the Chi Sox are up 2-1. Full count. Pitch was ripped into center field. And Mulder really can't retire anybody. Here's the DH for this one, Herbert Perry. Perry hit .245, 9 homers, and 36 RBI. A great start for the White Sox. They're up 2-1 here in the first. Mulder deals. Perry swings, and that's a base hit. Ordonez will score. Valentin holds at second, and the White Sox have exploded for 3 here in the first. Brings up Chris Singleton. Chris at .305, 6 homers and 42 RBI. My goodness, what a start for Chicago. Mulder, deep breath. Struck him out. He got him on an 0-2 fastball swinging. So 2 out for Josh Paul. And I don't have Josh's numbers here. Wow. Did he not catch a lot? Anyway, Paul in real life, 266, 3 homers, and 18 RBI. So 2 out, 2 on, 3 runs in for the White Sox. Mulder deals. Paul, a slow ground ball to Tejada. He goes to Menachino for the out, and that's the inning. Not before. The White Sox get 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. After 1, it's 3-1. Chicago. Oops. I'm up against the Seattle Sounder game. Double screening tonight. Oopsie. Go Sounders. So they jumped ahead of us here. Tejada struck out. Got him swinging. He was hit. Well, he hit 277, 32 homers, and 127 RBI. So Burley with 1 out here in the second. Just got so many screens open. It's been staked to a 3-1 lead. Here's Terrence Long. Terrence at 260. Let me double check. I have my glasses on. 281. 9 homers and 88 RBI. The A's finished 99 and 63. So again, between these two teams, 200 wins. Art Howe's gang hit 264 as a team, and the team ERA is 3.99. And that's already been shattered. Pitched along is a ground ball to Durham. Ray throws to Konerko, and there's 2 out. For Frank Menachino, who hit 228, 17 homers, and 54 RBI. So Burley looking good here so far in game 2. 2 out here in the top of the second. Mark deals, and Menachino draws the walk. That's what you get for having notes. Almedo signs the DH. He will be platooning with Jeremy Giambi. Signs at 220, 12 homers, and 41 RBI. 1 on, 2 out, top of the second. Burley deals. Signs into left field. Lee in the corner. And that will reach the seats. So a 2-2 count. Deep breath for Burley. Signs into right field. Ordonez reaches over, and that will retire the side. Oakland, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave on a man with a walk after an inning and a half. 3-1 Chicago. So Royce Clayton will lead off the bottom of the second. Royce, 276, 11 homers, and read the right column, 62 RBI. Mulder roughed up a whole bunch in the first, 33 pitches, and giving up those 3 runs. Clayton starts the second, fly ball to right. Dye will make the catch, and they hope now to settle in, or Mulder to settle in. Ray Durham. Ray doubled and scored in the first. Mulder opening 9, not good. 39 pitches, inning in the third, 5 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Durham, and that's a base hit into left field. Long will cut it off, and that's the 6 hit for Chicago. Brings up Carlos Lee. He struck out in his first at-bat. 3-1 White Sox, 1 out, bottom of the second, game 1 of this American League Divisional Series. Mulder deals. Lee, this should be 2. Tejada, Mancino for 1, over to Giambi, and that is a 6-4-3 double play. So some breathing room finally for Oakland. They get out of it. No runs, a hit, nobody left on. We go to the third in game 1. 3-1 Chicago. So the last player I got to tell you about is Ramon Hernandez. And Ramon at 232, 15 homers and 53 RBI. Burley 37 pitches through 2. Starts the third with a liner in the center field. That's going to get down in front of Singleton. And the A's will start the inning with a single. Opening 9 for Burley, 41 pitches, 2 innings plus, 2 hits. The home run from Giambi in the top of the first. A walk and 3 strikeouts. Damon is 0 for 1. Burley. His balks. Oh my goodness. He never stopped. He never stopped. And Jerry Manuel comes out to argue it, but it's pretty fruitless. So runner on second and a ball and a strike. So the A's trying to get right back in this one. Pitch from Burley. Struck him out. That's 4 for Mark. A 1-2 fastball got him looking. What passes for a fastball, it tops out at 85. Jermaine Dye struck out his first time up. Tomorrow's doubleheader starts at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. It is not the Los Angeles Dodgers, I'm sorry. It is Sammy Sosa and the Cubs making the trip across country to play the San Francisco Giants. Game 1 of that series at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And then at 8:30 tomorrow night, Game 1 between the Florida Marlins and Houston Astros from Houston. Pitch to Dye. The ground ball to third. Valentin looks Hernandez back, throws to first. Konerko's there for the out, 2 away. So as we said, Jason Giambi must be a glitch. The Matrix didn't work in your favor, Scotty. I'm sorry. Giambi homered his first time up. A long shot into right center. Pitch to Jason. There's a fly ball to right. Ordonez will ride the Schwinn coming in to make the catch, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, and no errors. They leave on a runner, and after 2.5, it's 3-1 White Sox. Man, I'm tired. So it'll be Konerko, Ordonez, and Valentin to face Mulder, who had an easier second. Konerko singled and scored in the first. Fly ball, left field, long, reaching over in the corner, and makes the catch. Some guy by the name of Bartman gets out of the way, and so there's 1 out for Ordonez, who doubled home a run in the first and would score himself. 3-1 White Sox as we play the bottom of the third. Mulder deals. Ordonez slaps out one just past Tejada into the hole for a single. That is the 7th White Sox hit of the ballgame. And Maggie has speed. Here's Valentin. Jose singled home a run in the first. Ordonez takes a healthy lead. Mulder throws to first. And Ordonez is back and now will not steal. Hey, at least your sounders are on. Pitch for Mulder. Valentin in the left center field. Back goes Damon. Short of the track. Makes the catch. Ordonez goes back to first. So 2 out for Herbert Perry. I'm not sure why Canseco wasn't included. We did shrink the rosters to 25. Perry, however, singled and drove home a run in the first. Ordonez on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Pitch to Perry. Ball 4. So Mulder has not pitched well. We'll let the computer decide when to pull him. Pitch count's going to come in as a factor anyway for Mark. Chris Singleton struck out his first time up. Hernandez tries to settle down his ace. Mulder from the stretch. There's a base hit into center field. Damon will pick it up. Ordonez has good speed, and he's being waved home. What's Damon going to do? Throws it in the infield, and it's 4-1 White Sox. There's a guy that watches every once in a while. Go Sox 20,000. I wish he was here tonight. He would be loving this. So 4-1 White Sox for Josh Paul, who's 0 for 1. Mulder, pitching about as well as Fox Mulder, delivers. Paul swings, ground ball to third. Chavez goes to second. Menachino there to retire the side. The White Sox get one more on 2 hits. They've left on 4. After 3, it is 4-1 Chicago. So Chavez, Tejada, and Long to face Burley here in the 4th. Chicago's bullpen is pretty battle-tested. Pitch to Chavez. There's a ground ball over the mound. Durham on the grass. Snap throw to first, and Chavez is retired. Tejada struck out his first time up. Freddie Garcia, by the way, threw a complete game for Seattle in Game 1, which is good for the Mariners because the bullpens were used aplenty in Games 2 and 3. By the way, in case you're wondering, there is an off day scheduled between Games 2 and 3 in these series and between 4 and 5 if needed. Pitch to Tejada. Miguel, base hit left side, and then seeing high hit, and Carlos Lee will field. Only the 3rd hit for the A's. Here's Terrence Long. He's 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's 5 for Burley. A full count curveball swung on and missed. Brings up Menachino, who walked his first time up. Frank draws the walk, so he has walked twice. 2 on, 2 out for Signs, who is 0 for 1. 4-1 White Sox. A's trying to climb right back in this. Burley deals, and he walked Signs, so they are loaded. So Burley a bit nervous. Just a kid in 0-1, isn't he? He's just 22 years old, getting a Game 1 start in the postseason. For Ramon Hernandez, who singled. So the bases are loaded, 2 out. Tejada on 3rd, Menachino on 2nd, Signs on 1st. Burley deals with the bases loaded. Slow chopper to Valentin, and that's a bad play because Valentin couldn't get out of his glove. So it's an infield single, and it's now 4-2. So Hernandez on 1st, Menachino on 3rd, and Signs on 2nd for Johnny Damon, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 74 pitches for Burley, 18 batters deep, 3 2/3, 4 hits. The home run to Giambi in the 1st. He's walked 3 and struck out 5. Damon pops it up. Right side, Singleton makes the catch, and Oakland will leave him loaded. Well, kind of like the other games in the American League, this one has not been a pitcher's duel. 3.5 in the book, so run on 2 hits and no errors. White Sox 4, Oakland 2. So it'll be Clayton, Durham, and Lee to face Mulder here in the 4th. Royce is 0 for 1. Into center, Damon's there, 1 out. For Ray Durham, who is 2 for 2, he has singled, doubled, and scored. Mulder's opening 18, 3 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a walk and 2 strikeouts on 74 pitches. Ground ball, Mulder, first base side of the rubber, throws to Giambi for the out. 2 outs for Carlos Lee, who is 0 for 2, has grounded into a double play and struck out. Wind blowing in from center at 13, and now everyone's allowed to blow on their hands on a 54-degree night. Slow bounder to Hada on the grass. Snap throw. Lee's running and is out on the bang banger. And so that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Burley, maybe one more inning. We have played 4. It's Chicago 4, Oakland 2. The tough thing, of course, in a best-of-5 series is that once you get down, there's not a lot of room to get back up. Oakland would love to fly back to the West Coast with a split, as the Yankees did. But the Yankees lost that advantage immediately. Jermaine Dye is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Popped up. Left side, Clayton. 1 out. So here's Jason Giambi. Pretty much the consensus American League MVP with his numbers. Homered in the first. Nobody on. 1 out. Top the 5th. Struck him out. That's 6 for Burley. Burley is a pitch-to-contact pitcher. But in this one, he has walked 3 and struck out 6. In 221 and a third real innings, he only walked 48 and struck out 126. You can tell he's a bit nervous in this one. Here's Chavez. Eric is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Burley winds and fires, and Chavez hits this one into right. Ordonez in the alley makes the catch, and that's the commercial. Beautiful night here in Burlington, 66 and windy, halfway home. It's the White Sox 4, the A's 2. So as Mr. Howard and the Goats continue to discuss the tear in the space-time continuum, which prevents the Dodgers from being in the playoffs, and oh, by the way, in the 5 years we've done this, it's the first time the Dodgers have missed. Here's how we got here in Game 1 between the White Sox and the Athletics. Jason Giambi a solo bomb to right center in the first to make it 1-0. Then the White Sox responded by sending 8 to the plate in the bottom of the inning. Maglio Ordonez a double to score Ray Durham to make it a 1-1 ball game. Jose Valentin singles home Paul Konerko to make it 2-1. Then Herbert Perry singled home Ordonez to make it 3-1. In the third, they made it a 4-1 game, an RBI single by Chris Singleton to score Ordonez. And then in the fourth, Oakland sent 7 to the plate but could only get 1 on the Ramon Hernandez single to score Miguel Tejada. So, not a great exhibition in pitching. Mark Burley, a 4-hitter through 5. He'll come out to start the 6th. Mark Mulder, 8 hits through 4, 4 runs all earned. So here's Paul Konerko. He is 1 for 2. He is singled and scored. By the way, if you're a member of the Facebook group, Retro Sports Network, you can vote on what football season I do. There are 4 choices: 1963, 1980, 1988, which has the lead, and 1994. So if you haven't voted yet, please do. We'll let that go a few more days, but it's seeming from the votes that have come in, I'm going to spend a lot of time in my senior year of high school of 1988. Dave is going to have all of his friends over. Isn't that nice? Please have them vote. Yes. Konerko, as we said, 1 for 2 with a single. and he draws the walk. Scotty says Western Washington University volleyball, 15 in the country. Western Washington men's soccer and defending D2 national champions, #1 of the preseason. Western Washington University women's soccer all start their seasons on the road tomorrow. Go Blue. Konerko, is he really a threat to steal? Ordonez has singled and doubled. He is 2 for 2. He has scored twice and driven in a run. Struck him out. Mulder got him on an 0-2 fastball looking. So 1 out for Valentin. Jose 1 for 2. An RBI single. Earlier today on Mr. Gardner's channel, the 78 Oakland Raiders advanced in the AFC Divisional Playoffs and a good one against the Miami Dolphins. Mr. Gardner was body painting himself after successfully squishing the fish. Pitch to Valentin. There's a slow ground ball to Mulder. Goes to Menachino for 1. No play at first. 2 out. So 1-4 on the fielder's choice. Here's Herbert Perry. Herbert has walked, singled, and drove home a run. Throw to first, and Valentin is back. Tomorrow's doubleheader, noon Eastern and 8:30. It'll be Sammy Sosa versus Barry Bonds, the Giants and the Cubs from San Francisco. And then in prime time, it'll be the Houston Astros and Florida Marlins. You do need to fire up the body painting channel again. I would pay for you never to have to see you on OnlyFans, that's for sure. Rangers baseball fan. In the heat of Texas, Rangers trailed the Mets 3-0 early, but lead 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Now if the bullpen just holds up. Pitch to Perry. Herbert swings a slow ground ball to Hada by third. Long throw over to first, and Perry's out. Perry, not the most ambulatory base runner of all time. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave on 1. We go to the 6th. It's 4-2 Chicago. So Burley down to last tax here. It'll be Tejada, Long, and Menachino. Miguel 1 for 2. A single, a run scored, and a strikeout. Burley starts the inning by plunking Tejada. Are you kidding? Well, that'll get the pen up and running. That hit him in the shoulder. That's the tying run. Here's Terrence Long, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Tejada has good speed, but I don't think the computer's going to steal him here. Long might be 2. Clayton, Durham for 1. The throw to Konerko. 6-4-3 on the double play. So 2 out. What setting do I use to get Burley's pitching status? Well, once he's within, the computer thinks he's in fatigue at the start of the inning, it'll tell you. And so if I wanted to go now, I click on his name. I make a mound trip button, and it tells me that Burley appears fine. Did I not set all those pictures? Chicago has 14 pitchers dressed in a 25-man roster. It'll be Menachino, who has walked twice. You're welcome. Burley deals. There's a fly ball, center field. Singleton coming in, rides a Schwinn, and Burley is through 6. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here at Comiskey Park, 4-2 White Sox. Since I'm not controlling Oakland, I don't know what Mulder's fatigue level is. But if I was, it would tell me. Chris Singleton is 1 for 2. He is singled, struck out, and driven in a run. Chopper to third. Chavez gobbles it up and can't get it out of the glove in time. An infield single. And so that'll do it. Jim Machir is going to pitch. And I see if I can find him. Oops. He throws to first and Singleton's back. Machir, 59 games for Jim on the replay. 4-3, a save, and under an average of 346. 67 2/3, 63 hits, 29 runs, 26 earned. He gave up 3 homers. He walked 19 and struck out 68. So a good move. He's good for about 25 pitches. Josh Paul is 0 for 2. Paul, slow ground ball to Giambi. Jason takes it to the bag himself for the out. Singleton moves to second. Royce Clayton is 0 for 2. 1 out. He can bunt. You know what? He's going to drop one. He does. Machir off the mound. Throws to first. Menachino covering, and Singleton moves to third. So the White Sox playing some small ball to try to get another run in. Ray Durham is 2 for 3. Has singled, doubled, and scored. 4-2 White Sox, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Durham into right or left center. Damon, wind helping, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. The White Sox have left on 6 through 6. They still lead 4-2. So Burley will get signs, and maybe Hernandez. Olmedo signs is 0 for 1 with a walk. I think Dave fell asleep, Scotty. He did a nice video late last week with some camera effects. It was really, really good. Pitch to signs. Fly ball, right field. Ordonez. And that is foul. Oh, he made the catch. In foul territory, Ordonez made the catch, and there's 1 out. Rangers bullpen. Is this a real-life game, or are you replaying something? 5-5 game. Rangers and Mets. So Burley, now you see his pitch count is in red, so he is real life. Oof. So Burley might be done. We'll give him Hernandez. Ramon has singled twice and driven in a run. Yeah, I think we both know where Dave is, don't we? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Pitch to Hernandez. Ramon, slow ground ball to Clayton. In on the grass. Has to hurry to Canerco, and Hernandez is out. Rangers, Mariners, and Astros are all tied atop the American League West in real life. 2 out for Johnny Damon, who was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Burley can really help out his cause by getting 1 more out. I'm not sure if Mark would say this was a grade A performance, but he's gone 6 2/3 with the lead. Damon is 0 for 3. Ground ball, left side base hit, and that'll do it for Burley. Yep. So we have all these people here, and let's see. Who do I want to use? I'm going to use Bob Howery. Howery, first out of the pen, 7-3 with a 4.16 ERA. 72 games, 80 innings, 83 hits, 39 runs, 37 earned. He gave up 13 homers. He walked 27 and struck out 38. Throw to first, and Damon is back. Yep, the computer trusts 14 pitchers in a 25-man roster. No Jose Canseco, but 14 pitchers. That was their overall stats. But yeah, wouldn't have been what I've done, but we'll see. Pitch to Dye, who's 0 for 3. Struck him out. Howery gets him out of the inning. Stretch time, 4-2 Chicago. I think so, Curtis. Was how the White Sox pitcher had a couple meltdowns versus Cleveland. Not as bad as some of the CC Sabathia's meltdowns. Oof. Boy vey. Gave up 13 homers. You can give him 4 outs. So you can put the game right in Keith Folk's hands with the lead. Carlos Lee is 0 for 3. He has struck out and grounded into a double play. Machier starts the 7th, popped up behind the plate. Hernandez to the screen and runs out of real estate. Count is 2-2. Liner into center field. Damon will make the catch. 1 out. Konerko 1 for 2. This one settled down in there. I thought after the first inning we'd be here forever, but not the case. Konerko 1 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. Ground ball. Machier runs off the mound towards first. Throws to Giambi. 2 out. So Machier has pitched quite well. He's going to go 2 innings. Here's Ordonez. Has a single, a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. I can't wait for Friday just to go through the stats from the Yankees and the Mariners. Just a reminder there, the Mariners, Scotty, if you're still watching, 2-1 lead. Game 4 Friday. Time to be determined. Depends on what happens in this series. Pitch to Ordonez. There's a ground ball to third. Chavez, a diving stop by the line. Throws to Giambi, and Ordonez is retired. We go to the 8th in Game 1. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's the White Sox 4, the Athletics 2. So Giambi, Chavez, and Tejada to face Howery. Pitch to Jason, who with homered earlier, gets away from Paul on strike 3, down to Konerko, 1 out. For Chavez, who's 0 for 3 with a K. Howery deals. Fly ball, right center field. Back goes Singleton, away, back there, 1-run game. Chavez has homered into the batter's eye in right center, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Again, if you joined us late, these two teams in this replay combined for 200 wins. Tejada is 1 for 2. He has singled, struck out, and scored. And Tejada walks, and we're going to go to the pen. So it's going to be Alan Embry. I have no idea why they are pulling in Bill Pulsifer and Ken Vining in the pen. There is no way in purgatory they would get used. Alan Embry pitched in 39 ball games, went 5-1, an earned run average of .531, but he's a loogie. 42 1/3, 41 hits, 25 runs all earned, 12 walks, and 51 strikeouts. 4-3, tying run is Tejada on first. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Chicago. They've left on 6. Oakland 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they've left on 6. Lefty versus lefty. Long is 0 for 3. He has struck out and grounded into a double play. This might be 2. Clayton to Durham for 1. Ray throws to first to Konerko, and that'll do it. So Embry induces a double play. Mike Magnanti coming in to pitch for Oakland. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 4-3 White Sox after the A's get a run on the homer by Chavez. So what can I tell you about Magnanti? He's a lefty. He went 4-0 for the A's on the replay with an earned run average of 330, 67 games, 62 and 2/3 innings, 63 hits, 25 runs, 23 earned, 9 homers. He walked 16 and struck out 31. So Valentin a switch hitter, Perry a righty, and Singleton a lefty. Jose 1 for 3, has a single and an RBI. Magnanti starts his effort with a chopper down to third. Chavez, one of the best out there, throws the Giambi one out. Keith Folk warming for the White Sox in the 9th. Herbert Perry is 1 for 2, has an RBI and a walk. Perry swings, fly ball, left field, back goes long, and Terrence will make the catch, 2 out. So here's Singleton. Chris is 2 for 3. Has singled twice, RBI, and a strikeout. We'll make a couple changes for Chicago before Game 2 because you don't need 14 pitchers, and you're not going to use anyone with a real-life ERA of 7 in a playoff game. Pitch to Singleton is a ground ball to Tejada. Miguel throws over to Giambi. Singleton's running, and he is in there. He beat it out. So an infield single. That's the 10th hit for the White Sox. And now I'll bring up Josh Paul, who's 0 for 3. Magnanti, one of those rare pitchers with glasses. Throws to first. Singleton has good speed, but isn't going anywhere. Now the pitch to Paul. Josh swings, ground ball to second. Menachino is there, over to first. And that will retire the side. White Sox get a hit, and that's it. We go to the 9th. What an outing for Alan Embry. 3 pitches and 2 outs. So Keith Folk. That was an easy decision. Folk. Put up the right picture there. 48 saves. 2-1 the record. 70 games. 75 and a third innings. Good luck to the A's. He only gave up 40 hits. 12 runs all earned. 6 homers. He walked 19 and struck out 79. How about that? So Menachino, Sainz, and Hernandez. We'll see if the computer pinch hits. The A's need 1 to tie and 2 to go ahead. Menachino has walked twice. He's 0 for 1. And F.P. Santangelo. Little pinch hit. I don't have his real life, his playoff or replay numbers. It's 71 real at bats, 197 with 8 RBI. So Folk digs in and walked him. So the tying run is on. Bob Carpenter is laughing somewhere. Ryan Duran, who pitched for the Orioles back in the Yankees, right, was the greatest bespectacled pitcher that D. Scott Howard remembers. Could throw it at 105, and if you knew where it was going, you were a better man than him, Gunga Din. Olmedo Sainz is 0 for 2 with a walk. I wonder if they'll go with Jeremy Giambi here. No, they go with Mario Valdez. Valdez, well, if FP's not on the list, then neither is Valdez, right? Yeah, surprisingly enough, he is. He hit 281, 2 homers, and 12 RBI. So he is the go-ahead run. Nobody out. Top of the 9th. 4-3 White Sox. Folk deep breath and deals. And he walked him. And so Folk, who was so sure all year round, 48 saves, has walked the first 2 here in the 9th for Ramon Hernandez. Ramon 2 for 3. He has singled twice and driven in a run. Santangelo, the tying run, Valdez, the possible winning run. Folk deals. Popped up. Center field. Singleton. 1 out. So in the nothing is ever easy category, your ace closer has walked 2. 1 away for Johnny Damon, who was 1 for 4 in game 1 with a strikeout. Ground ball to third. This might be the ball game. Valentin to Durham for 1 and no throw to first. So Damon actually beat it out in the throw. They get the slow runner in Valdez. So Santangelo, the tying run, 90 feet away. And Damon with all sorts of speed on first for Jermaine Dye, who is 0 for 4. He has struck out twice. So Folk has not made his life easy here in game 1. Dye, ground ball to third. Valentin throws to first, and the White Sox win it. Folk turns to the heavens and lets out a deep breath. So the American League Central champions in 3 hours and 14 minutes win game 1, 4 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. They leave on 7. The A's 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors, and they left on 8. Hang on, Curtis. We're going to quick sim games 2 and 3 before we're done. Mark Burley, 6 2/3, gets the win. 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a homer, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts before the bullpen took over, and it did not do very well. Mark Mulder, 9 hits through 5, walked 2 and struck out 3. They want me to tell me that Ordonez? He had 2 for 4 with an RBI, although Chris Singleton went 3 for 4. So, that's game 1. We're going to make a couple changes in the Chicago roster before game 2. Because they do not need 14 pitchers. So, Wunsch goes inactive. And Wright will go inactive. Okay, I guess he can't. Or he did. All right. Batters. Who's going to get called up? Canseco and Leifer. All right, so now we have everyone there. Let's quick sim games 2 and 3. What we're going to do is set everyone to human. Set up the lineups and let them go. Tim Hudson gets the call. So Damon. Actually, let me do the pitcher first. And it should be, if I plan this, Kip Wells. All right, the righty, two righties. Damon, Dye, Giambi, Chavez, Jeremy Giambi. Long. And left. Oops. Second base and catcher. And the White Sox. Only Clayton. He was ninth. Canseco will be the DH. Quick props to the Action PC customer service. Had a glitch in the latest basketball upgrade and had a fix in your email. That's awesome. All right, rainy night in Chicago for Game 2. And the Zoom. Whoa! 18-7 for the A's. We've had some hitting. Ready for this recap? Ouch, indeed. Tejada, a 2-run single in the first to make it 2-0 Oakland. Yeah, wow is right. In the second, they get 2 more. Johnny Damon on a fielder's choice to make it 3-0. Jermaine Dye to make it 4-0. So Friday, it'll be a doubleheader for you again. In the third, they get 3. Tejada on a double to make it 5-0. Giambi to make it 6-0. Ramon Hernandez to make it 7-0. That was just in the third. They get 2 back to the White Sox in the third. A Carlos Lee homer to make it 7-2. Caneco, a 2-run single in the fifth to make it 7-4. Royce Clayton made it 7-5 in the sixth. Oakland gets 1 in the seventh. A Giambi homer to make a Jeremy Giambi homer to make it 8-5. Eric Chavez hits a grand slam in the eighth to make it 12-5. Canseco and Paul homers in the bottom of the eighth to make it 12-7. Then the A's just poured it on. They bat around in the ninth. The bases loaded walk for Giambi, Jason. Eric Chavez an RBI single. Tejada a 2-run double. Long an RBI single. And Jeremy Giambi a fielder's choice. 18 runs, 20 hits and an error. For the White Sox, 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Kip Wells didn't make it out of the third. Glover, 3 2/3 with 3 strikeouts. And then oh my goodness gracious, and the bullpen just coughed up a hairball. Hudson, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned. So huge advantage, Oakland. As we go back, we fly across the country for this. My good, yeah, how no one was good in that. All right, let's set up from Oakland. As the cat steps on me. Who should I use for a pitcher? Does it really matter? John Garland. Oh no, he's not dressed. They didn't dress Garland. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Rocky Biddle? Oh, no, he's dressed. So Garland versus Barry Zito. See, the A's bench only has 2 as well, but all right. Let's see. Clayton 9th. Perry the DH. Paul 8th. And Singleton 7th. So beautiful. Yeah, the ERAs are pretty. Boy, there's been a lot of offense. All right, so quick simming game 3. This series is tied at 1. And Oakland will have a chance on Friday to put this thing away. They win game 3 by the score of 3-1. So they're up 2-1 the series. How'd we get there? In the first, Jermaine Dye a solo homer to make a 1-0 off of John Garland. Jeremy Giambi hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Pulls a Homer Simpson. 2-0 A's. White Sox get one back in the third. A Royce Clayton ground ball to make it 2-1. Then Johnny Damon with the insurance run in the 7th to make it 3-1. So Barry Zito, a 2-hitter through 7. And then Jason Isringhausen with the 9th, Matthews there in the 8th. John Garland didn't make it out of the 5th. Ginter, Howery, again, another home run, Curtis, for Howery. And Kip Wells, who started game 2, went 1 inning in game 3. So Friday we'll have another doubleheader for you. It'll be the Yankees and the Mariners. Seattle has a chance to win Game 4 from the Bronx, noon Eastern. And then at 6 Eastern time, 6 on Friday, will be Game 4. Oakland will have a chance to wrap it up against the White Sox. So we could be looking at Seattle and Oakland for all the marbles in the American League. Interesting. Very interesting series so far. Oakland's pitching is pretty good. I'm not sure who the heck Chicago sends out for Game 4. I got a couple days to think about it. Doubleheader tomorrow starts at noon Eastern time. It'll be the Giants and the Cubs at noon, followed at 8:30 by the Marlins and the Astros. So hopefully you like the format, how we quick sim games 2 and 3. And once now we get to the Game 4s, every game will be live streamed in its entirety in color, stereo, and 2 dimensions on Retro Sports Network. All right, so tomorrow the National League Series begin, and then by Friday we'll know who's got the chance to win. So the A's and the Mariners are up 2-1 after day 1. And I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. Doubleheader tomorrow, doubleheader Friday. Don't know about Saturday yet. Have a good night, everybody. So long.